Hello everybody, this is Carlo and welcome to my channel. This is my first ever video that I'm sharing my stories. I want to share my story because I feel this can be very helpful for everybody. Not only for me, just to make sure that my voice is heard, but to give back voices to people that have lost they've lost their hope, and to say that you're not lonely. There's me, there's a lot of people. And since when I've begun and I discover my problems, I really felt so lonely. I felt like nobody was really understanding what I was going through. My parents was, saying stupid things like that's nothing, get over it. All of my friends was saying like it's not a big deal. But going out with your life and see that so many things are changed and you don't even feel the same versions of yourself. You feel like everybody of your peers are every everybody are enjoying their lives and you're stuck in a mindset that is saying I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can't do this. And that's what I'm feeling. It's very happy time of my life. I was doing everything that I could, in studying and really focusing on everything and every step. But as everybody, as a human being, we tend to want everything. We want to be seen, we want to be heard, and you want to be, I guess, admired. Some kind of things. So, seeing back, I was doing that. And the fact was, I also wanted distractions. I really wanted distractions in my life. I was doing, university and I was going out with friends, but also I was going to the disco. And, every weekend I was going to the disco. I was, getting drink, a little bit of a booze, not too much because I tend to not over exaggerate it. But I was getting a little booze, I was dancing, I was listening this super loud music, and that was it. That has been my life for I guess 6 months, and then it came a day that all my life changed forever. It was June. It was June, and it was like this pride event for LGBT community here where I am in my place. Uh, I was, going there with a friend of mine because we always, he wanted to dance. I wanted to go there. We wanted to enjoy. I had a really nice weekend. I had a really nice week before. I remember I did an exams university and I really passed it and I just wanted to celebrate. Just feeling the vibe, just feeling the moment. So I went there and I remember all of my friends need to get on the scene. So everybody of my friends went really near where the music was, went really near to the music source of the place. And I remember stood there and the music was unbearable. It was so loud. At one point, my ears really started to hurt. Literally hurting. I'm not kidding. It was painful, and I remember it was covering my ears because music was unbearable, and it was at moments because unbearable, tolerable, and it was like this for I guess 15 or off no I guess it was less than half an hour, 20 minutes, and then the pride started and everybody started to walking, and I remember also being really near to the music source even when I was walking, dancing, talking. And at one point during this experience, I remember I couldn't hear my friend talking. It was talking and I was like, what? Literally, I couldn't hear him. So after that, the event ended up. I guess it lasts for 4 hour or 3 hours. So long. I really, because of the music, I couldn't really understand what was going on. So then I remember I was not hearing very nice. But then I said, maybe it's because I just came back from the party, from the music. My ears will get better. And I remember I went back to home and this problem was not going away. And I was saying, this is weird. This is really weird. But I was looking forward for my life because I really had so many things to do. Life happens when you're busy doing other plans. I guess it was John Lennon saying this. So I remember my friend called me and he said, "Are you up for the disco tonight?" And I said, I'm feeling like my ears are a little bit weird, but I want to go there. Yeah, I'm going there. It was a very, very nice event. And then 2 days later came and my hearing was not getting back. It was literally stuck. I remember I was not hearing properly. I was putting, earpods and not really listening here. I was like very, very low. I mean, here was feeling the music very nice, but here was like off. And then I said, maybe the earpods are broken." I switched and it was the same, and I switched the same. So I started to worry, and it's all where my story begins. I began worrying so much, telling my parents what was going on, and they was believing me, but still kind of like, oh, you will get used to it. It will go away. So I went to the hospital in my city, in my place, and I remember being there, and a lady. I guess it's destiny. When you find destiny, you have to believe it. I didn't, but you have to believe it. So I went to the hospital and I told my story to the nurse, and she registered me. And after that, a lady came to me and said, I have this exact problem and you should not be in this hospital. You should go to another hospital that are doing the hyperbaric chamber for restoring your hearing. Because what happened is the loud music ruined my ciliated cell in ruined my cells in my ear, and this is why I'm hearing tinnitus, and I'm hearing this noise constantly. And also part of my hearing is went away because of the loud music really ruined my hearing. So she said, basically, this is not the right place to be now. You should go to another hospital. At first, I believed her, but at second, I said, let me stood here and wait for the doctor and ask him what it might be, because she's not a doctor. And I wanted to trust her, but at the same time, I was like, I wanted to hear the doctor's opinion. So I waited for the doctor. It was very fast. I mean, one hour, 2 hour, and he said like, "Oh, you're fine. Nothing happened." He also did not any test. I really had to knew that was something was off, but he said everything's going fine. You feel fine. It's okay. Maybe you just need some prescriptions for corticosteroids, corticosteroids. And he gave me that. It was not really strong, but not really, a meal. And he said, take this for 1 week. And was Monday, 2 days after the incident. So I went home, I talked to my parents, and they said, okay, you should wait and see how it's going on. I was taking the pills twice a day, and I was feeling Nothing was changed. So I told my father, and he said, you can make a hearing test to see how it's going on. So I went there, and he did perform other tests. And then he came back to me and he said, listen, I know this might sound bad, and your hearing, you've lost your hearing. You've lost at least 50-60% of your hearing in your right ear. And you're right here. And this is not a really nice situation you're going through, but there's nothing we can do to cure you, you know, to heal you. And you will get used to the tinnitus, to the noise, because at that time I was very worried about the tinnitus not going away, because I was scared and I was saying like, what am I even going to do with this noise constantly banging on my ears? What I will be doing for my life? And he said, listen, there's nothing we can do, literally. You should just get over it. Put your mind on peace. So I went to. So I remember crying on the phone when I was talking to my father and asking dad, and he wanted to sue the hospital, I wanted to sue the doctors and all of those things. And I ended up not doing that. But I went the next day to another hospital, and the other hospital, I did a check-in. And immediately, I was so lucky because a doctor, she was on a check-in, she saw me, the descriptions that I gave her, and she said, this is an emergency. You have an emergency going on. And she gave me not the maximum code of the hospital, but the next after it. And she said, you should really need to seek medical examination. So she gave me this code, and she told me to wait. I waited for like a lot, 4 hours, I guess. And then he said, you need to do the hyperbaric chamber. And I was like, what is it? What am I going to do? And it described me, and it was super scary. So basically, if you don't know, it's a chamber, and it's a pressure chamber. Like there are applying pressure to this room and to everything inside it. It's like going underwater, literally. And I guess it was 30 meters, let's say 35, 40. So you go there, you do this, and you have a mask, and there's oxygens on it. So basically, it's a proven thing that oxygens with low pressure becomes therapeutic. It becomes like a therapeutic thing, and it helps with people who have lost the hearing to regenerate the hearing that you have lost, to help the cell getting stronger, giving oxygens to nourishes them, and to get back to what happened to the cells. I was so scared being lonely, because the first time it was like an RA and an emergency, and they planned me to do the first therapy alone. And I remember I was in this small chamber room. They applied pressure, and I was lonely. I had like this comics from, I guess, 1970s. It's crazy. I was reading it, feeling like my ears was popping up, popping up, popping up, and it was so cold. I don't know why, but you feel very cold, like I had a blanket on it. I did at least 20 sessions of hyperbaric chamber, going every day for 1 week, and then the next week, and then the next week. And it's been a really rough situations, because when you are into it, it's the longest time, because you have to be there for 2 hours in that room. Sometimes you read, or you get bored. You get bored very easily because you see it's so noisy. It's very noisy there. You can't put muffle. You cannot put anything on your ear. You have these masks, and you have this tube going around there, so you have to fix it. You get seated. They close the door. They apply pleasures, and your ears started. You feel pleasure. You really, literally feel pleasure to your ear, and you start a therapy. So at the end of the therapy, it lasted for 4 weeks. And thankfully, after that, I regained my hearing. Yeah, I not completely. Like I was 16 or 17, and I've gained back to 30-40%. You know, a 30, I guess a 30-20% upgrade from the situations that I was before. I could hear better. I literally could hear much more clearer, and that's it. But still, I lost a FT amount of hearing, and the tinnitus become bearable, tolerable. I guess with time it with time I really gained like tolerability. Like I could manage to hearing the noise I was making. I want to make other videos about this. This is basically my stories, but you cannot let this single things or event to ruin your entire existence. I did got depressed. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm telling you the truth. I got depressed. I did not clean my room for I guess 2 or 3 weeks. It was a mess. I was not going out. I was only go to the therapy and getting back home and laying on bed, not crying, but feeling very sad. Clearly feeling so sad and sick. Remembering things like, oh my god, I can't be normal anymore. This is all my fault. I mean, it's my fault. To this day, I still think it's my fault, but it's not. Everything might seem complicated, but I want to give you a silver lining. I got used to the tinnitus. It's it's been 5 years actually. My tinnitus has been very low. Depends. Sometimes I've heard loud musics that have gained my tolerability. My tinnitus was going up. I tend to not doing things that I know can't damage my hearing, like I don't go to the disco or the cinema or even to the barber shops. I mean, I go to the barber shops, but quiet places. I tend to prefer quiet places so that my tinnitus will not get worse or my hearing damage will not get more. And by the way, I want to show you that you can still have a beautiful life, a beautiful existence. You can literally move on with your life and being the best or the same versions of yourself. It's you get depressed, you get sad, you get lonely, but you can still get support. I really suggest you to find supports like go like Facebook supports channels, or even watching YouTube videos, or connecting with people that has your same problems. It's beneficial. It makes you feel like you're valued. It makes you feel like you're being understand, and talk to your doctor. You need to think that is beautiful time existing. It's a beautiful time to be alive, and keep on going. Thank you everybody for watching my video, and we will see in the next one. Thank you. Bye.